amazing work. Now, I want to bring our community into the conversation.
Yeah.
We have a Google Hangout filled with some huge fans who are itching to talk to you. We've got Ariel, we've got Ashley Mitchell, and we've got Liz Madeira. And they're all here to talk to you. I'm going to start with Liz because she is smiling so hard. I'm not sure she can last much longer. Liz, you have a question for him. Go ahead.
Talk to me, Liz.
Okay, so let me begin to say that I think you're extremely hot.
Oh my God, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. She was talking to me. Thank you. No, go ahead.
So I was watching Nina's interview on Conan O'Brien, and she states that she gets a little awkward when her mother is there for the sex scenes and gives her tips. So I was wondering, is it awkward for you having so many people watch, especially your mother-in-law?
Ooh, good question.
I actually asked the questions. I asked for the tips as well.
Really?
No.
I was like, breaking news. I got something for this guy finally. No.
You kind of go with it. It's one of those things where you have to, in all the studying that I did as an actor, there's a very famous acting teacher named Stanislavski, and he always talked about being private in public. You literally have to learn to have a private moment in a completely public situation. And those scenes are always interesting. They're fun. I mean, look, if you can't have fun doing that, then something's wrong.
Ashley, we have a comment coming in from Twitter as well by Maria McLaren, who says, "Hi, Ian, what are the similarities, good and bad, between yourself and your character, Damon?"
The similarities, I love biting into people's necks.
Okay.
No, I think one thing about Damon is that I've learned is that he uses, we've all had a lot of pain and things in our lives, and Damon is definitely no exception to that rule, and he uses humor. We as human beings use humor as a Band-Aid, as a medicine for pain, and Damon uses it a lot. And so I realize, I love to have fun in my life. What is life without a bit of humor? Yeah. You try and inject it and infuse it in pretty much everything you do. And so I dig that about Damon. I mean, again, you can't judge him. He makes some very questionable decisions.
Yeah.
But he truly enjoys what he's doing.
Wow.
And I don't judge him for that. And I love playing that aspect of him. I love that piece of him.
That's pretty cool. We have another comment coming. Let's go right here to, I'm sorry.
Hello, darling.
Ariel here. I'm sorry. Yes.
Ian, I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thank you.
You were one of the reasons why I even got into Lost in the first place.
Thank you.
My question for you, sticking on the Vampire Diaries topic, is do you think that your real-life romance with Nina has any effect with your on-screen romance between the two of you?
I live in a world called the Vampire Diaries all day, every day. And I think that the intersection of we're all an extremely close family. I mean, we've spent every day together for 4 years, the whole cast, especially me, Paul, and Nina. So we have a pretty incredible fluidity to our relationships and how it all works with our characters. And, you spend that much time with people, and you don't even have to talk sometimes. They finish your sentences, or you just look at someone and they know what you're thinking, and it makes working a breeze. Now, obviously, we all want to kill each other sometimes, but what good what family atmosphere is not with a little conflict?
I think that's fair. You have the world's biggest fan in the building.
I have the best. They're all amazing. Who?
They're all amazing, but you have one in particular. Her name is Abby Huntsman. See that woman right there in the green? See the girl in the green right there? Can you wave at Abby, please? She's so embarrassed right now. Please wave at her.
Hi, Abby.
Abby, come here. She's blowing him. Abby, come out here. Now, I've had members of the Senate here, the House, governors. She never will come out, but she's now coming out at record speed. Abby has a question for you, but because Abby promised me that she would murder me if I didn't do this, I'd like Abby to come out and actually ask the question herself.
Sit down, Abby.
This is totally.
Abby, have a question.
This is totally embarrassing.
Have a seat.
Okay.
Here's what we're gonna do. Now, here's
All
the
right.
problem, Abby. Abby's not mic'd.
I don't even know who to just. No, I actually am because I'm on next. So.
Abby's mic. I'm shaking his hand, even though she wants really to shake yours.
So
you can,
nice to meet you as
as
well.
Abby mic, can we hear Abby?
No one has seen me blush yet. Well, I'm probably blushing.
Oh, this is awesome.
My husband's gonna kill me.
I think you can talk right into his mic. Can you read?
So my question is, obviously there are rumors swirling that you could potentially play the role of Christian Grey. I'm sure you haven't heard that before.
I've never heard that.
But if that were true and you were asked, would you be willing to play that character?
I think that, I think anyone in their right mind would explore that option. I think that, you have to realize something that pretty much every dude in Hollywood right now is in some way, shape, and form up for this role, whether it's in their own mind or
I
whether
heard Mark's up for it too, actually.
whether it's in their own mind or their management teams are convincing them that they're some way, shape, and form up for those roles. But I definitely think that it's that E.L. James created a pretty damn dynamic set.
You've read the book.
I have the first book, and that's been one heck of a little journey. But I will say this, that I've learned, I've figured this out, that ladies, if it's not on the iPad, if it's a physical book,
Which they do because
They
they're
rip
too
the cover
embarrassed to
off.
read it sometimes.
yeah, well, they also rip the cover off.
Yeah.
And I was at Whole Foods a couple weeks ago, and I ran into a woman. She was a doctor. She was standing behind me, and I wasn't in a rush for once. I was just kind of hanging out, and she had the book, but she had ripped the cover page off, and she was reading it, and I saw on the corner of the page, it says 50 Shades of Grey, and she looked up at me and she goes, "Oh," because just from a lot of the media that she's been seeing, it's in her mind. And she had a total moment in line reading a certain scene, and it was probably slightly bizarre that she was thinking about me in this scene and looks up in the line at the grocery store, and I'm there. And
But that's why you would probably be so good at it, because
had a cool
women
moment.
apparently envision you when they read about Christian Grey. So that's a compliment.
it's
Do you envision him when you read about Christian?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that, actually. I envision my husband, obviously.
Of course you
Smart
do.
lady.
Right,
Lucky
right.
guy.
That's a good answer, isn't it?
No, it's a great answer.
Right.
It's the only answer.
Right, exactly. Let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a definite yes, 1 being a absolutely not, what are the chances of you being connected to that project?
Well, I'm connected to it every time I pick up the book.
Good answer too, sir. You should run for
I was
office.
going to say.
What are the chances of me seeing you on screen one day doing that character?
You should, I guess we could probably pick up a phone, call someone and ask.
But if asked, you would say yes.
Well, I think it would be a very wise choice. But again,
But you haven't been asked yet.
no, and this again, every guy in Hollywood is up for this thing in some way, shape, or form. But
I wonder what the audition would be like. You got to probably show off a few
Some
sexual
bondage.
moves.
probably, yeah, just
Something bondage related.
you have to bring your A game for that one.
Would you be willing to be private and public in that moment?
I think you would not have a choice in that situation.
Fair enough. We have one more. We have to get to Ashley here because she has a question for you, and she is also beaming.
Hi.
Ashley,
I love the smiles, man.
isn't it great?
Best
The joy you
ever.
bring to the world.
I love it, man.
I'm totally jealous of Abby right now, just letting you know
You
that.
should be. You
she's
should
so
be.
lucky. My question is specifically about TVD. Damon's motivation for saving Elena's friends, specifically like Bonnie and Jeremy, do you think that's specifically because he loves her and he wants to prove his worth to her? Or do you think it might be genuine feelings that he has for these people as well?
Ooh.
That's a very well-constructed question, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
No, and you raise a good point, I think this guy's overwhelming, unwavering love and connection to this girl, who, by the way, let's get this out in the open, he's 170 years old. Talking about robbing the cradle. She's 18. She's 18.
Wow.
But I think that you raise a really good point. I think he truly loves her more than anything in the world. And And it's a push and a pull. I mean, Stefan obviously wants her to take this thing because he'll get her back. Damon wants nothing more than to continue on this path of being a vampire. But you know, by virtue of the fact that her humanity is now off, she's going down a really dark road, and Damon probably sees it as ultimately leading to an untimely death for her.
Well, as you can see, Abby Huntsman has slowly pushed me off the couch and nudged me completely away. So I'm going to let them have some time alone here. I'm going to leave, but I do want to thank you, Ian, all the way over there, because Abby's pushed me away, for coming here and hanging out with us.
Thank you enough.
Oh, man, it's always good to see you. You are
guys,
amazing.
Thank you.
He's a HuffPost Green game changer. He's also a brilliant actor, and I suspect he's going to... You hear these guys? And I suspect he's also going to be in 50 Shades of Grey. But anyway, thank you all for watching HuffPost Live. Ashley, Ariel, Liz, thank you for hanging out with us. The conversation never stops.